Hey, I'm Jason. Today I'm going to show you how I make boom boxes. This is one that I've painted up. So it's a plastic boom box using some rotocast solution, and I'll pour it into one of my molds. First you're going to need your object that you want to make. So I had a mold. I tried to make my own molds, but they didn't work out, so I paid to have this one made. It cost about $600. I used the Smooth On Rotocast. It comes in 2 parts. It was $120 Canadian for the solution. It's 1-to-1, so you pour the same amount on each one. Shake up each container so you get it mixed up like orange juice. Then you let it sit for like 20 minutes. The bubbles will, subside, and then you pour it in each. Make sure it's the same level, and when you pour them together, you mix it up really good. So what I use is these little tongue depressors. I make sure that I cut off the ends. So when you're cutting off the end, you can scrape the sides and scrape the bottom when you're stirring. One of the problems that I had making these is that I was just stirring the middle, thinking that was good enough, but it wasn't. When you mix up your solution into the cup and you've stirred it really, really good, scraping the bottoms and scraping the side, you've only got 2 minutes, so you may want to have a timer with you. You pull up the mold, take your solution. I just bend the cup a little bit, pour it in there, make sure you get it all in there. You may want to scrape, if you've got an extra hand or someone to help you, take your stir stick and scrape it a little again, and make sure you get all that solution in there. Then you take your cork. I got a cork made, it's like silicone putty. You pop it in there, slide it in, make sure your bolts are tight, and then what I do is I start to rotate the mold. So I'm going to do 2 separate pours. So the first pour I do, I'm going to try to make sure that I don't get any solution up here because I'm going to want to pour through this hole again. So what I do is I go like this and I start to rotate and I visualize where the solution is flowing. So you try to go in the same direction at all times. Don't go back on yourself when you're don't try to go back unless you have to, because then the solution will go over on itself and then it will double thick and it'll be odd thickness all around. You do this for about 2.5 minutes. It's about 15 minutes for it to set. And about, maybe you can even wait 30 minutes if you really want to. Before the first pour solidifies, you pull your cork out and you let it air out. Your cup that you stirred on will just be, you'd put it to the side and you'd watch the solution on it. And when it gets like a good thickness and it looks like it's like almost drying and stuff, you can mix up a second batch, stir it up the way I showed you, lift it up, and then pour it in. And then cork it. You should have a hole straight through the bottom. You put your cork back in. Anyway, so you let the second pour sit. You wait about half an hour, and then you can feel the heat from it. But then when you're done, you can pop out the cork, unscrew it. So you take your little things, you unscrew it. This is the silicone on the inside and then the plaster. So you're going to pull out your cork and then you pull off your skin. You want to be really careful with this. Mine will make about 100 boom boxes before I got to get another one made because it gets slightly warped. So you just try to be careful. You pull it out and then you can pull this one off. Push, push, push. Just get it loose. Bits off. You can take like any little bits there. You can use like a sharp knife. And then there's our boom box. Nice. Ta-da! That's basically how it works. So there's the pour hole, which is totally easy to get rid of. You just use a little Dremel, and you can use some little bits. That's basically what it looks like. Boom box. This is my silicone mold, just so you can get a better look at it. So I had here's the little silicone cork that I made with the silicone Play-Doh. So this is what it looks like from the inside. So when the solution pours in, it's going through all those details.
Yep. So it's a negative of of your original master.
Here's the positive, which I think this all looks like art. The way it looks so nice. The mold turned out really, really well. So I highly suggest getting your own mold made, paying someone to do it. It costs a little bit of money, but man, it gives you a lot of less headaches. But I really like the way this turns out. But this is what it pops out like when it comes out. And then you can paint up your own boom box.
Cool.